It's just been scaring me a little bit lately. It's like every time now. I don't know what it is. But my God, I can't believe that we're already halfway through 2019, right? Isn't that nuts? That shit, I know, it's crazy. It feels like the world's going crazy. Like I saw some shit recently that I think defines America 2019. And I'll tell you what it was. I was at this bar and I was in the bathroom. And while I was in the urinal, I looked up and I noticed not only had someone written Trump 2020 on the ceiling, someone else had like violently crossed it out. Like think about what that really means. You know what I mean? Like not only did someone have the fucking audacity while pissing to write Trump 2020 on the ceiling, someone else also while pissing looked up, saw that and went, not in my bathroom. My bathroom is a safe space, thank you very much. I'll not have my bathroom sullied by the names of any fascist dictators. And it just fucks with me because I know that the second guy definitely didn't have a pen on him when he went in. You know what I mean? That means he looked up, saw Trump 2020, marched out of the bathroom to the bartender, got a pen and went back and did his duty to our country. He's a good American. He's a good fucking American. I don't know. It's tough for me to, it's tough for a guy like me to speak on social issues. And I get why. Like I've had a lot of privilege. Like my whole life I've been very privileged. I've always had money. I've always had opportunities. And it's definitely helped me out. But I think people forget the setbacks of being very privileged your whole life. I know that's weird to say, like the setbacks of being privileged, but they definitely exist. Like sure, having a lot of privilege has given me career opportunities that people with less privilege don't have. But I'm so fucking lazy, I don't even want a good career now. So it's like a double-edged sword. It's like, yeah, I have all these opportunities for great jobs, but my only aspirations have ever been smoke weed and masturbate. It doesn't really work out the way it's intended. Someone needs to fix up this model. No, but I smoke a lot of weed. Anyone else? Wow. Straight edge room. Holy shit.
All the time.
You guys you might agree with me here though, because even though I smoke a lot, like I get that stoners are annoying. Okay, like clearly we're fucking annoying. Like I used to, when I first started smoking weed, I loved getting high and talking about philosophy with my stoner friends. But nowadays I realize getting high and talking about philosophy with a stoner, it's like talking about philosophy with a kid who just saw Fight Club for the first time. Right? You know what I mean? It's like, man, can you believe these people are constantly just wasting their lives in cubicles all day? I'm honestly more surprised that you haven't killed yourself by now. You're a fucking waste of space. What do you do? You inhale smoke and that's it. You gotta, it's a weird world with it. You gotta smoke it because every day you see some shit in the news. Like shit's not, even stuff that's not depressing, it just makes you raise an eyebrow. You know what I mean? Like I saw this article recently about a guy who claims to be transracial. Like, supposedly he was born a white person, but he actually identifies as Filipino. So that's what he's supposed to be. I know, it does sound weird, but I gave it a little bit of thought. And not only do I see where he's coming from, I realized I've actually been transracial my whole life. I had no clue, but it's true because the thing is I was born an Italian person, but I've always identified as white. Took me a little bit, but you got it. Look, any Italians in here?
Yo.
Yeah. Do you guys think you're white? Yeah. Okay, so your grandma just didn't live long enough to beat you with the spoon. That's all that is. That's not white discipline. You gotta, okay, like think about what white discipline. Okay, white kids, when they get in trouble, that's not what happens to them. They don't get hit with a spoon. What happens is their parents sit them down, they look them right in the eye, they give them a stern talking to, and then they molest them at 3 a.m. But they don't hit. That's the important thing. They don't hit. The main point of this joke is don't hit your kids. But yeah, racism is definitely it's definitely an issue. It's definitely a big problem in our country that we need to fizzle out. Sometimes I get a little wary of the kind of methods people suggest though. Like I saw this one PSA on Facebook and it was like this guy he was like, they were interviewing this guy who was supposedly like he used to be like a neo-Nazi, but he's since changed and he's trying to tell, he was like, look, like I know it's really hard, but there's hope out there for you. You can find help and change the way you think about things. And I just never thought I would see getting over racism depicted like getting over drug addiction. Like, think about it. Isn't that weird? If you depict getting over racism like it's the same as getting over drug addiction, that implies that there's a first time when you tried racism and it felt amazing. Like, that's not a smart implication to make, you know what I mean? Kids watch PSAs, but they still try heroin, so I don't think we should be making this look fun. Oh my God, what else? About here? Abortion's in the news, right?
Yeah.
Yep, we're going down that path, people. Get ready.
Oh shit.
I saw it in your face. You were like, "Oh, don't do it, man. Don't do it." No. Here's the thing. Obviously, I'm pro-choice. I would hope most people are, but there are people in the world who try to use abortion as a form of birth control. And I just think that if you're the type of person who would use abortion as a form of birth control, I hope you at least tip the doctor. I mean, fuck. How many times a month is that dude scraping your cooch? Like 2 or 3? Tip the man. Holy shit, be fair. Fuck. But the big question everyone asks with abortion, and I don't want to polarize the room here, so don't take this in any way. But the big question people ask is when does a fetus become a human being? You know what I mean? When does a fetus go from being a fetus to human being? Some people say it takes 6 weeks when the heartbeat appears. I think it's the day the person officially gives up watching Rick and Morty. Like that's prior to that, you can be aborted in my opinion. As far as I'm concerned. But yeah, it's just strange times in this country. We have another election coming up, and we're all going to have to decide who we want to run our world. And I already know I don't like any of the candidates, so I'm sweeping the board. I'm doing a write-in, folks. You know what I mean? Because I have a person in mind who would be perfect to run this country, and I'm going to write him in. It's going to be my own asshole. Yeah. And so I'm sure some of you are looking at me like, oh, you're just trying to be some, snarky centrist, not taking sides. And that's not true, okay? I'm definitely taking a side here. My asshole is a Democrat. His border patrol policy is just way too loose for it to be any way otherwise. You know what I mean? It's not that he'll let anything in, but you'd be surprised what he does let in. I'm saying he's not like a Bernie, he's not like a Kamala Harris or a Bernie, he's more like a Joe Biden, except he would never try to open mouth kiss you on the back of the head. All right, thank you guys so much. I'm John Crescenzo. This has been a lot of fun. Give it up for your amazing host, Bob Snyder!
One more time for Tom Crescenzo, guys.
Yeah!